The beat sounds slower around me, not because the tempo changed, but because my delivery moves so fast that everything underneath it starts to feel stretched, like the rhythm is dragging behind the words instead of carrying them forward. And while the instrumental try to maintain a steady pace, a consistent pulse, a comfortable groove, I accelerate across it with a cadence that slices second to smaller pieces until the track feels heavier, slower, almost delayed, like it's reacting to the voice instead of guiding it. And that shift in perception is exactly what I aim for, because I don't want the beat to feel like the main source of motion. I want the words to take that role to become the real engine of the track. And the faster I stack syllables into each moment, the more the instrumental starts to sound like it's lagging behind, like it's trying to keep up with a flow that refuses to settle into its pocket. And every time the drums repeat the pattern, it feels slower than the last time. Not because the tempo dropped, but because my cadence keeps pushing forward, keeps compressing time, keeps crowding the measure with more movement than it was designed to hold, until the entire beat feels like it's moving in slow motion. I run a mouth that refuses to decelerate.
Beat sounds slow next to me. I feel fast naturally, fluidly, temper same, still behind. Beat sounds slow in my time. Gotta hide, gotta hide, gotta hide.
Hey, look. Yo, the beat sounds so overwhelming. The faster cadence and the contrast between the voice and the instrumental start to stretched out, the track is moving through the game, and I don't choose the tempo to create that. Change the speed of the articulation, I compress the syllables, and the vowels and consonants into the beat, and the playing behind the voice, and that imbalance creates tension. Because the listen up feels two different speeds at once. The calm steady pulse of the instrumental in the club, with the flow and the content. The beat sounds so amazing, it's like the behind the voice that refuses to wait. And I don't slow down the next beat. The cadence run faster than the rhythm makes sense, because I want the energy that's building, the city behind. Around a voice that makes me to be contained.
I talk fast naturally, tempo same, still behind. Beat sounds slow in my time. No time between. No time between syllables. Because the moment the gap between one side and another word, another consonant, another rocket fraction of God. It's moving forward, and while the beat might be built with small space between the accents, little pockets where the rhythm can breathe. I have those pockets for continuous articulation that turns a flow into a single unbroken stream. Cause I don't like the feeling of separation between syllables. I like them pressed together, stacked tightly, connected in a chain that moves too fast to pull apart. And every time the instrumental tries to create a pause, I bridge it with more sound, more phrasing, more momentum, until the verse feels like one long exhale. What continuous push is like with that never give us another chance to reset. Keep the delivery then tight and then interrupt it. No time but between these syllables when I step into the rhythm either, because I don't like the idea of letting each sound exist on its own. I prefer to compress them together, to let one syllable crash into the next, until the flow feels continuous, like a single line of motion. Instead of separate pieces, and while the instrumental might be built with clean accents and small gaps between the beats, I close those gaps with rapid breaks, like phrasing that leaves the space untouched. Entire verse becomes a single unbroken surge of speed. No time between sound. I lean tight. No time. Every second gets overcrowded the moment I start talking.
every second packed tight, no room to move, no space to breathe. Every second gets overcrowded when I step into the rhythm too. Cause I don't like the idea of letting time pass quietly. I like it through emotion, through the detail, through the rap phrases that leave no moment untouched. And while the instrumental might be built, the groove is steady bounce. No rhythm that leaves small pockets. Just look between the actions. I treat those pockets like empty lanes that need traffic. So I flood them with fast, precise articulation, stacking syllables into each second until the beat feels dense. Like it's carrying more weight than it expected. And I don't slow down to get the timeline room to stretch. I tighten the phrasing instead, compressing the words into smaller units, smaller fragments of time until the flow sounds like it's moving faster than the clock itself. That constant overcrowding creates tension. Because the listener never gets quiet. Moment to reset, never gets permission to relax.
I don't let the tempo breathe, because the moment the rhythm tries to open up even a small pocket of space, I fill it with another string of syllables, another burst of articulation. I don't let the tempo breathe either, because the moment the rhythm finds a comfortable groove, it risks losing its tension, intention exactly what keeps the energy alive. So I step into every open pocket with rapid, precise, raising the fills, the gaps before we can relax, and while the instruments might be built, little space between the kids and stairs, little pauses to never listen and settle into the vibe and treat those spaces like empty rooms that need to be occupied, stacking syllables and rhythm until the rhythm feels crowded, until the track sounds like it's carrying more movement than it was designed to hold, and not even lie, silence to create impact. I rely on continuity, on the feeling that the flow could collapse to at any moment. It's the less space that the bow has to breathe, the urge of the song feels, and the urgency sharpens, the delivery sharpens, the articulation sharpens the purpose. So instead of getting back into the groove, I lean forward to the speed, tightening the cadence, suppressing the phrasing, and pushing the rhythm to its limits until the beat feels like it's gasping, like it's trying to inhale between my lines, but never quite getting the chance. Cause every time it tries to breathe, I'm already there, filling the space with another rapid sequence of words.
No air, no space, tempo can't escape. No space, tempo can't escape. No freeze, I don't let tempo play, tempo breathe, tempo breathe. No
beat, ahead of the downbeat, ahead of the accents, ahead of the structure. The flow tense keeps the energy high, keeps the track feeling like it's always in motion. Because bar never gets the chance to start empty, it never gets a clean slate, it never gets that calm reset point that most songs rely on. And every time the measure tries to restart, I'm already there, already mid-phrase, already filling the space, open the articulation up. Until the structure feels blurred, like the lines between bars have disappeared, like the rhythm is just one continuous stretch of motion. And I don't rely on the downbeats to give my words weight, I give them weight by placing them early, by letting them land before the beat expects them, by from the measure before it even opens. It cause that constant forward pressure keeps the cadence sharp, keeps the tension alive, keeps the listener slightly off balance. And that's exactly what I am inside the rhythm of the never getting started, cause my words always that version. Drums finish buffer. Before the bass even decides how deep it wants to hit. It's a moment I get a band to sing a rhythm of already emotion. Already setting spaces on top of an instrumental that hasn't fully formed. And while the track tries to assemble itself, layering sounds, aligning the tempo, building its identity piece by piece, I interrupt that process with a rapid stream of syllables that refuses to wait for the final product. Because I don't believe in letting the beat get comfortable before I step in. I believe in arriving early and speaking while the structure is still fragile, still unfinished, still figuring itself out. And that early entry creates tension, makes the rhythm feel unstable, like it's racing to keep it with it. And every time the beat tries to lock into its groove, I'm already ahead of it, already moving into the next thought, the next piece, the next verse of articulation. Cause my delivery isn't built to follow the rhythm, it's built to outrun it, to reach the moment before it happens. To land phrases in spaces that were meant to stay empty. And by the time the full beat finally drops into place, I've already spent the energy it was saving, already delivered the impact it was planning, leaving the instrumental sounding like it arrived late to its own performance. Because my words don't wait for the beat to load, they show up early and take control.
Too early, I speak before the drum hit the beat. I speak before the drums hit the beat. I speak before the drums hit the beat. Too early, I speak before the drums hit the beat. I speak before the drums hit the beat. I speak before the drums hit the beat. Drums hit the beat.
Too early, I speak before the drums. No delay, no more, my words arrive for lows. No delay, no more, my words arrive for lows. No delay, no more, my words arrive for the lows. My words arrive before the beat loads too. Because I don't like the idea of waiting for the instrumental to prepare a space for me. I prefer to step in while it's still building, still shaping itself, still stretching into the tempo. And while the drums try to find the rhythm, I fill the air with fast, precise phrasing that lands ahead of every accent, ahead of every downbeat, ahead of every moment the beat was supposed to control. Because I don't treat the instrumental like a guide. Yeah, I treat it like a backdrop that I can step in front of at any time. And when I enter early, when I speak before the rhythm is ready, it creates the slight imbalance, the sense that the voice is always one step ahead, always slightly out of reach, always pushing the track forward. And that pressure forces the beat to adapt, to catch up and rebuild itself around the flow. Because the energy is set out of words. And by the time it was I've already crossed the moment it was trying to reach, already delivered. It was saving, already moved on to the next thought. My cadence doesn't wait for the beat to prepare. It arrives early to the spotlight and leaves the instrumental racing behind it.
I speak before the drum hit the beat. I speak before the drum hit the beat. I speak before the drums hit the beat. I speak before the drums.
Cause I don't trust empty space to carry the energy on its own. I prefer to keep the pressure high, to keep the cadence rolling, to keep the track feeling slightly over. calm, trying to stay balanced, trying to create a smooth ride. But I treat it like a fragile surface that I'm meant to crack, meant to overcrowd, meant to push past this comfort zone. Because the moment the beat feels relaxed, the urgency disappears, and I'd rather have a track that be filled with little spaces between the keys and snares. Little pauses to let the listener settle into the vibe. I treat those spaces like more movement than it was designed to hold. I don't rely on silence, rely on pressure, on continuity. The more urgent the song feels, and the urgency sharpens the delivery. Sharpens the articulation, sharpens the focus. So instead of leaning back into the groove, I lean forward into the speed, tightening the cadence, compressing the phrasing and pushing the rhythm to its limits until the beat feels like it's gasping, like it's trying to inhale between my lines, but never quite getting the chance. Cause every time it tries to breathe, I'm already there, filling the space with another rapid sequence of words. Yeah.
I don't let tempo breathe. Tempo breathe.
Tries to leave small pockets between the kicks and snares, little breathing zones where the groove can stretch and relax. I treat those pockets like empty rooms that need to be occupied, and I move into them immediately with fast. That's phrasing that leaves no silence untouched, because every gap no space. No space left in this rhythm when I step in either, because I don't treat it like something delicate or balanced. I treat it like a canvas that's meant to be covered completely, and while the drums try to create a comfortable groove with small pauses between the accents, I close those pauses with rapid, precise syllables that fill every open corner of the bar, because I don't want the listener drifting through a relaxed rhythm. I want them surrounded by sound, by motion, by tightly packed phrases that keep the energy high and silence buried. And every time the instrumental gets a gap, I step into it with another line, another cluster of consonants, another sequence of fast articulation that pushes the cadence forward until the beat feels crowded, until the groove feels compressed, until the track sounds like it's carrying more voice than it was designed to hold. And I don't slow down to give the rhythm room to stretch and tighten the flow, instead compressing the phrasing into smaller and smaller units of time until there's no
show up early and take control.
Too early.
My words arrive before the beat goes through. 'Cause I don't like the idea of being an instrumental. Therapy's for me at first stepping while it's still building, still shaping itself, still stretching into the tempo. And while the drums try to find the rhythm, I fill the air with fast, precise phrasing that lands ahead of every accent, ahead of every downbeat, ahead of every moment. The beat was supposed to control because I don't treat the instrumental like a guide. I treat it like a backdrop that I can step in front of at any time. And when I enter early, when I speak before the rhythm is ready, creates a slight imbalance. The sense that the voice is always one step ahead, always slightly out of reach, always pushing the track forward faster than plan to go. And that pressure forces a beat to adapt, to catch up, to rebuild itself around the flow. Cause the energy has already been set by the words, and by the time the instrumental finally locks and the drums in the play, cause the moment it was trying to reach already delivered the emphasis. Already moved on, can't stop. Prepare for the rise early to the spotlight. Place behind. I feel the bars before they start because I don't wait for the measure to officially begin before I step in with the words. I treat the space ahead of the downbeat like open ground, like unclaimed territory that I'm free to occupy. While the instrument prepares to mark the stand, with a clean accent, strong kids with a sharp snare. Already made sense, already stuck these syllables into the air. Already got the moment before the beat for the chance to define it. And the early dance changes the feel of the same line. The bar never gets start playing against that beat. Moment to establish yourself and never gets the beat before the words arrive. And every time the measure resets, I cross that line. And the space before the downbeat lands until the dark space feels blurred. The bars are overlapping like the voices running across them without stopping. And never respect the idea of a clean starting point. I prefer constant motion, constant pressure, constant articulation that flows across the grid without waiting for the official signal. Cause the moment I start thinking about where the bar begins, I start slowing down, and slowing down breaks the energy. So I stay ahead of the structure, filling each measure before it even exists until the rhythm feels crowded. From the very first tick
Before the bar, I speak first. No clean start, just the words. Feel it
start to because I don't wait for the beat to mark the beginning of a measure. For all I let the words loose, I step in early ahead of the downbeat, ahead of the exit, ahead of the structure that's supposed to organize the rhythm. And that early occupation keeps the flow tense, keeps the energy high, keeps the track feeling like it's always in motion. Cause the bar never gets the chance to start empty, it never gets a clean slate, it never gets that calm reset point that most songs rely on. And every time the measure tries to restart, I'm already there with the phrase, already in the space with the rhythm. Until the structure feels blurred. Alive keeps the listener slightly off balance, and that's exactly where I want them, inside a rhythm that never gets a clean start. Cause
I speak faster than the bass drops, cause the moment I look faster than the bass drops too. Because I don't trust low buttons to carry the energy I need. So the moment I hear the low and starting to rise, I step in with the fast, precise cadence that releases the tension before the instrumental gets the chance. And while the beat is saving its impact for the right second, carefully building toward that heavy drop, I rush the moment with tightly packed, phrasing that empties the pressure ahead of schedule. Because I don't want the bass to control the emotional peak of the track. I want the words to do that. I want the cadence to create the explosion. So by the time the low frequencies finally arrive, the energy has already been spent, already redirected, already pushed forward into the next line. And the drops are smaller than they plan to be, not because it's weak, but because it's late. Because the real impact happened earlier, inside the speed of the delivery, inside the density of the phrasing, inside the constant forward motion that refuses to wait for the instrumental to catch up. And that imbalance between the voice and the bass is exactly where the tension lies. Because the beat is trying to land in its heaviest moment, and I keep surviving at first.
I start practicing like it's carrying more information than it was designed to hold. And I don't leave breathing room between phrases. I stack them back to back, letting one thought crash into the next. Because empty seconds feel like wasted opportunities, like open seats in a room that should be full. So I fill them with fast articulation. Instrumental might be built with a comfortable groove, steady bounce, a rhythm that leaves small pockets of space between the accents. I treat those pockets like empty lanes in the traffic, so I fill them with fast, precise articulation, stacking syllables until we second until the beat is stiff. I just carry them more weight than it expected, and I don't slow down to get a timeline in the stretch. I tighten the phrasing instead, compressing the words into smaller units, smaller fragments of time until the flow sounds like it's moving faster than the clock itself, and the constant overcrowding creates tension. Cause the listener never gets quiet, moment till we set, never gets a second to relax, and that pressure keeps the energy sharp, keeps the cadence alive, keeps the track hitting the version instead of comfortable, so I keep feeling the seconds.
One after another, packing in the language until the rhythm feels full, until the timeline feels crowded, until every moment sounds like it's carrying more sound than it was meant to hold.
Yeah, too fast for a comfortable pocket. Because the moment the beat drops. alert, focus. Like it's carrying more speed than it was designed to hold, and the discomfort becomes the real fatigue of the track. Steady rhythm in a faster voice, and the tension keeps the flow sharp, keeps the delivery urgent. Keeps the track alive, because I'm not getting sit inside the pocket. I'm gonna push it, stretch it, and move just fast enough to make comfort impossible.
Too fast for the pocket. Too fast, fast, too fast, fast. Too fast for the pocket. Too fast, fast, too fast. Too fast for the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. No time between these syllables, because the moment of gravity is between one sound and the next. I cross up with another word, another consonant, another rap, a fragment of thought that keeps the chaos moving forward. And while the beat might be though it's long space to pretend to action, I go back to the rhythm, head breathe. I remove all bias, but competing with into the next until my flow feels like a single movie. I check it to separate words. No time between each sound. I lean too tight, too fast. No time between. No time between each sound. I lean too tight, too fast. No time between these that the listener can't process that. ML means removing the pauses, tightening the articulation, and snapping the syllables into a constant stream that never slows down, never separates, never gets the rhythm a chance to breathe. Cause I'm between the sound, mental weekend. I roll a metronome, cause the moment is in it to the track, it's time to lead to the track, to handle, and I concept for emotion means the rhythm feels stretched like the clock itself is trying to catch up. Because the faster the words move, the slower the clicks of the sound. I want a metronome too, because I don't rely on the steady click of the tempo to guide my delivery. I rely on the pressure of the moment, on the urgency of the phrase, on the speed of the box moving through my head.
Yo, too fast. Yeah. Too flow. Too flow. Too flow. Yo. Too fast for a comfortable pocket because the moment the beat drops, I so I accelerate instead, pushing the syllables forward, tighten the phrasing and stacking words into the pocket until it feels too small to contain them, until the groove starts to sound tense, crowd is slightly Can't stop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Can't stop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Can't sit, can't stop, can't stop. Can't stop. Put a pop, put a pop, put a pop. Fast enough to make something impossible. Until the track feels heavier, slower, almost delayed. Like it's reacting to the voice instead of guiding. And that shift in perception is exactly what I aim for. Because I don't want the beat to feel like the main source of motion. I want the words to take that role to become the real engine of the track. And the fast in my bag, syllables in each moment. The instrumental starts to sound like it's lagging behind. I'm trying to keep up with the flow. The music to settle in the pocket. And every time I drums, I keep that balance. It feels slower than the last time. I can feel it dropping because my cadence keeps moving forward. It keeps compressing time. It's more movement than it was designed to hold until the end of the beat feels like it's moving in slow motion around the mouth. Sounds slow around me too. Because the moment I step into the rhythm with the faster cadence, the contrast between the voice and the instrumentals to within the listener's perception. And while the drums continue with the same steady pace, the density of the phrasing makes each second longer, heavier, more stretched out, like the track is moving through thick air. And I know it's just the tempo to create that effect. I change the speed of the articulation, I compress the syllables, I shorten the vowels, I tighten the consonants. Until the beat feels like it's lagging behind the voice, and that imbalance creates tension. The listener feels two different speeds at once. The calm, steady pulse of the instrumental and the sharp rapid motion of the flow, and that contrast makes the beat sound slower than it really is. Like it's drifting behind the voice, I refuse to wait for it, and I don't slow down to match the groove. I stay ahead of it. I let the cadence roll faster. Never let the next leg stand like a
kid arrived after the explosion instead of causing it. Bass jump, too slow. I talk fast, you know. No end, still late. I speak first, accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. I speak faster than the bass drop too, because I don't trust slow build-ups to carry the energy I need. So the moment I hear the low end starting to rise, I step in with a fast, precise cadence that releases the tension before the instrumental gets a chance. Know how to beat is saving this impact from the right second, carefully building towards that heavy drop. I rush the moment with tight impact, raising that MP for pressure ahead of schedule, because I don't want the bass to control the emotional peak of the track. I want the words to do that. I want the cadence to create the explosion. So by the time the low frequency finally arrives, the energy has already been split, already redirected, already pushed forward into the next line. And the drop sounds smaller than it planned to be, not because it's weak, but because it's late. Because the real impact happened earlier, inside the speed of the delivery, inside the density of the phrasing, inside the constant forward motion that refuses to wait for the instrumental to catch up. In that imbalance between the voice and the bass is exactly where the tension lives. Because we keep trying to let it be on. I keep arriving there first. I speak bass drop, too slow, bass drop, too slow, fast, bass drop, too slow, I talk fast, and I keep arriving there first. I speak faster, 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 I speak faster, 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 I keep arriving there first. And I keep arriving there first. I speak, yeah, I speak, yeah. I speak faster than the bass drops. Faster than I speak faster. I speak faster, 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 faster. I speak faster than a bass drop, bass drop, bass drop, bass drop, bass drop, bass drop. I speak faster than the bass drops. I speak faster, faster, faster. I speak faster, faster, faster. I speak faster, 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 I speak faster than the bass drops. I speak faster than the bass drops. Yeah, I speak faster. I speak faster. With as many syllables as it can hold. And while the instrumental tries to leave small feels like an opportunity. Every quiet moment feels like wasted time. And I'd rather have the track sound overcrowded than comfortable. So I stack words on top of the beat until the groove feels compressed. Until the rhythm sounds like it's struggling to find room for itself beneath the weight of the flow. And I don't pause between thoughts. I don't let the cadence settle. I just keep pushing forward with continuous articulation that fills every fraction of the measure. Until the instrumental feels tight, like the air has been squeezed out of it. Cause I don't like the idea of open space in a verse. I like the sound of constant motion, constant pressure, constant presence in the moment. Them surrounded by sound, by motion, by tightly packed phrases that keep the energy high and the silence buried. And every time the instrumental leaves a gap, I step into it with another line, another cluster of consonants, another sequence of fast articulation that push my cadence forward until the beat feels loud, until the that refuses to decelerate. Sounds so overwhelming too because I'm only listening to the rhythm with a fast cadence. The contrast between the voice and the instrumental starts to bend the listener's perception. And while the drums continue with the same steady pace, the intensity of the rhythm makes a second the long and heavier, more stretched out. The track is moving through the air and I don't use people to create that effect. I change the speed of the articulation, I compress the syllables, I shorten the vowels, I tighten the consonants into the beat. Feels like it's lagging behind the voice and that I'm feeling the attention. Because the listener feels two different speeds at once. The calm, steady pulse of the instrumental and the sharp rapid motion of the flow. And that contrast makes the beat sound slower than it really is. Like it's drifting behind a voice that refuses to wait for it. And I don't slow, then I match the groove. I stay ahead of it, I let the cadence run faster than the rhythm expects. Because the forward pressure is what gives the track its energy. That's instant, the beat is standing behind. Slightly late, slightly stretched around a voice that moves too quickly to be contained.
second gets overcrowded the moment I start talking.
Yeah. Every second gets overcrowded the moment I start talking. Because I don't treat time like something that should be spaced out or respected. I treat it like territory that needs to be filled. And while the beat move forward at its calming pace, I start packing syllables into each moment until the timeline was compressed. I was carrying more information than it was designed to hold. And I don't leave breathing room between phrases. I stack them back to back, letting one thought crash into the next. Because every second feel like wasted opportunities, like open seats in a room that should be full. So I fill them with fast articulation, with tightly arranged consonants, with rapid sequences that turn a simple moment into a crowded space. And by the time the instrumental finishes one clean cycle, I've already squeezed multiple ideas into it. Leaving the rhythm feeling heavier, denser, almost overwhelmed by the volume of language. My delivery, I'm up at the tempo, I'm mixing on the pressure of the clock, and the back of the six pass. The urge, turn each like the time into a continuum of as many words as you can possibly hold. And so you can tie your verse, feels like a traffic jam of syllables. Every second packed tight, no room to move, no space to breathe. Every second gets overcrowded. When I step into the room, too, I don't like the idea that the time has quiet. I get through emotion, through the detail, through a rap, through that I might be built with a comfortable groove. Bounce, no living in a small pocket. Just making sure the actions I'm taking those pockets like lanes that need traffic. So I fill them with fast, precise articulation, stacking syllables in each second until the beat feels right. Bringing more weight than it expected, and I don't slow down to get the timeline room to stretch. I tighten the phrasing instead. Compressing the words into smaller units, smaller fragments of time until the flow sounds like it's moving faster than the clock itself. And the constant overcrowding creates tension because the listener never gets a quiet moment to reset, never gets a second to relax. And that pressure keeps the energy sharp, keeps the cadence alive, keeps the track feeling urgent instead of comfortable. So I keep filling the seconds, one half to another, packing it with language until the rhythm feels full, until the timeline feels crowded, until every moment sounds like it's carrying the sound.
Tempo breathe. Because the moment the rhythm tries to open up even a small pocket of space, I fill it with another string of syllables, another burst of articulation. Another tightly packed phrase that pressing against the beat like a weight. And while the instrumental might be designed to swing the groove to leave little gaps for the listener to relax inside, I close those gaps with constant motion because I don't trust empty space to carry the energy on its own. I prefer to keep the pressure on, to keep the trap. Under the weight of too many words, moving too fast, and people might be trying to stay calm, trying to stay balanced, trying to create a smooth ride, but I treat it like a fragile surface that I'm meant to crack, meant to contemplation, sharp focus. Between my lines, but never quite getting the chance. Cause every time I tries to breathe, I'm already there, filling the space with another rapid sequence of words.
No air, no space, tempo can escape. No space, tempo can escape. No freeze, I don't let tempo breathe, tempo breathe. No air, no space, tempo can escape. No space, tempo can escape. No freeze, I don't let tempo breathe, tempo breathe.
I feel the bars before they start. Because I don't wait for the measure to officially begin before I step in with the words. I treat the space ahead of the downbeat like open ground, like unclaimed territory that I'm free to occupy. And while the instrumental prepares to mark the start of the bar with a clean accent, a strong kick or a sharp snare, I'm already in sentence, already stacking syllables into the air, already crowding the rhythm before the beat even gets a chance to define it. And that early entry changes the feel of the entire track. Cause the bar never gets to start clean, it never gets that empty moment to establish itself. It never gets free for the words arrive, and every time the measure resets, I cross that line ahead of schedule, pushing phrases into the space before the damn beat lands. And the distinction feels good, but the bars are overlapping. Until the rhythm feels crowded from the very first tick.
Before the bar, I speak first. No clean start, just the burst. Feel it early from the start. I feel the bar before the bar.
Them up in the measure before it even knows beats that goes that constant flow. Precision keeps the cadence sharp. Digital alive, keep the listener suddenly your balance, and that's exactly what I want there inside the rhythm and the beginning start. Cause the words always that first. My words arrive before the beat loads, before the drums finish buffer, before the bass even decides how deep it wants to hit. Cause the moment I hear the faintest hint of rhythm, I'm already in motion. Already stacking phrases on top of an instrumental that hasn't fully formed yet. And while the track tries to assemble itself, layering sounds, aligning the tempo, building its identity piece by piece, I interrupt that process with a rapid stream of syllables that refuses to wait for the final product. Because I don't believe in letting the beat get comfortable before I step in. I believe in arriving early and speaking while the structure is still fragile, still unfinished, still figuring itself out. And that early entry creates tension, makes the rhythm feel unstable, like it's racing to keep it with a voice starting the conversation before the instrumental is even ready to respond. And every time the beat tries to lock me with you, I'm already ahead of it, already moving into the next thought, the next cadence, the next burst of articulation. Cause my delivery isn't built to follow the rhythm, it's built to outrun it, to reach the moment before it happens. To land phrases in spaces that were meant to stay empty. And by the time the full beat finally drops into place, I've already spent the energy it was saving, already delivered the impact it was planning, leaving the instrumental sounding like it arrived late to its own performance. Because my words don't wait for the beat to load, they show up early and take control.
Too early, I speak before the drums hit the beat.
Because I don't like the idea of waiting for the instrumental to prepare a space for me. I prefer to step in while it's still building, still shaping itself, still stretching into the tempo. And while the drums try to find a rhythm, I fill the air with fast, precise phrasing that lands ahead of every accent, ahead of every downbeat, ahead of every moment the beat was supposed to control. Because I don't treat the instrumental like a guide, I treat it like a backdrop that I can step in front of at any time. But when I enter early, when I speak before the rhythm is ready, it creates the slight imbalance, the sense that the voice is always one step ahead, always slightly out of reach, always pushing the track forward. That's it, ain't a planet and that pressure forces the beat to adapt to catch up and rebuild itself around the flow. Because the energy has already been set by the words. And by the time the instrumental finally locks into place, I've already crossed the moment it was trying to reach, already delivered emphasis it was saving, already moved on to the next stop. Cause my cadence doesn't wait for the beat to prepare, it arrives early, takes the spotlight and leaves the instrumental racing behind it.